So let's talk about what kind of conditions, what kind of motivations, what kind of energies, impulses might lead someone to pursue voice healing, and specifically the type of voice healing that I'm sharing, the one that I developed it. Maybe other people are doing a similar thing, but from the voice healers that I've seen, I do have a different approach, and that is through a combination of spirituality, spirit energetics, and also somatics, the training I've done as a somatic therapist and as a facilitator. Training in how to hold a deep space of authenticity, deep space of presence, non-judgmental space, as well as tuning into these energetics and also the spiritual principles of sound and healing. So all these things I combine to my voice healing system. So who might want it? Who might need it? So my circumstance, speak about my case, which is that I experienced an environment where I was able to connect to my voice, and in a way that felt right, the way that felt unpressured, in a way that felt good, basically, and spontaneous and organic. And I thought, oh my God, I never realized it could be like this. The energy I felt, the things that were happening to my mind and my emotions while I was singing, the joy, the bliss, it was so powerful. And as I was on my spiritual journey, my kind of awakening journey, I realized that this, I didn't even realize that it was blocked. That's how blocked it was. So when that thing happened, when that experience happened, I realized this is something I really need to work on. I can't just let myself be restricted and let this gift, this connection, this energy go to waste. So for me, it became a deep, deep impulse. Like I felt there was something so deeply I wanted to express that wasn't getting expressed in other ways that I was able to tap into sometimes, and with the voice. And I was experiencing this in kirtan environments, basically. But you might experience it, if you've sang at church, or you may experience it just on your own if you're singing in the shower or at a kirtan, for example. I don't know what other kind of singing circle. This type of deeper energy might start to arise, and you just might feel this powerful need and this ravenous desire, I need to be able to access this energy more. And I can't just wait, because not all kirtans, not all circles can create that kind of energy, depending on who's leading it, depending on the energy and environment. You may be able to access these deeper parts or not. And for me, I just needed to cultivate it myself. I couldn't wait once a week, once a month for some magical things to come into alignment where I would be able to be in that environment. I needed to have access to it whenever I wanted. It felt like it was like breathing, like I needed to be able to express this deep part of myself that wasn't expressed in my friendships or my work, or just on a daily basis through exercise or some other way. I really, really needed to. For me, not having any guidance, I thought I was going crazy. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't, sometimes my voice would have a really it almost seemed like a harmful effect on people. I was tapping into this deep pain and deep power and deep light as well, and I was just doing it indiscriminately, and people were getting affected by it. It was like people weren't realizing what was happening, but it would agitate people. When I was leading kirtans, sometimes people would leave my kirtans. Other people would say, amazing things about the kirtans. And so it was very confusing, and I didn't really, it was hard to trust myself and keep going. And so this is what I want to offer to other people, is to have that support and that guidance. If you're really feeling like you need to, from a very deep place, just express that voice, connect to yourself so deeply through the voice. If it's if you've been in a kirtan, if you've been in some other environment, and just you feel that incredible power, and that you have access to it sometimes, but you need to have access to it more. You can't, and you don't know why or how. So this voice healing that I do can help you to remove the obstacles that are in the way of connecting to that creativity, that power, that bliss, that you know meditative quality, where everything just melts away and you're just totally expressing in the moment, just a ball of energy, basically. So this is one type of person that, if you're just feeling totally lost and other people just don't understand, because other voice teachers or even some voice healers, they may not understand the deep healing quality. They might not have the capacity to hold the space for all of these emotions, all of these fears, all of these things that might come up. So this is why I feel really strongly about working with this kind of person who has this like just burning impulse that like they need to do it. They're looking everywhere. They can't find someone to support them. So if that's you, just know that I can support you to create that space for you to explore, to connect, to express, to move through the emotions and the spiritual processes and the stories. So that's one kind of person. And let's see what other reasons. So people that are on their spiritual process, their healing process, they feel maybe they're very sensitive, and they feel like they've been, a lot of us that are sensitive, we've withheld our voice, and so we have powerful voices naturally. We're maybe very oriented to the truth, and we have powerful voices that we've suppressed because it's speaking our truth has wounded people, and we haven't had the discernment and discrimination to know what's going on and when to use it and when not to use it, and what circumstances. And so this process can help you, and it can actually create physical problems, like people that I've worked with, and me too, like you can have this strong tightness in the throat, a closing of the throat. I actually used to choke a lot as a kid. My throat would just like keep closing in on itself, and I think it was probably because I was withholding my truth a lot and creating an energetic constriction. So you can feel physically a constriction because we've been holding back our energy. Energy needs to come out through the voice. This energy center needs to be opened. And if we've been wounded in the past, if we've suppressed ourselves, if we've taken on too much responsibility, then we can hold ourselves back, and it can be very scary to start opening that up. And we can feel like it's too much. It can bring up so many challenging emotions, and it's really important in these circumstances to have a guide, to someone who's been through it, who can hold that, who can guide you through it, repattern the stories, repattern the energy, so that you can have more access to this, so you can speak your truth more, so you can use the creative force to balance yourself out more when you need to, through the voice, because the sound is energy, and through energy, we can change the way that we feel. So using our voice, using our creativity, if you're someone that's really energetic, really sensitive, you can use your voice, once you unlock it more and more, to tune into how you feel and to retitrate yourself, recalibrate yourself. So this can help for this type of person. Another one, so there's so much work now with empowerment, with claiming your power, and it's kind of similar to what I just described, but you finding the power of the voice if we're afraid of being too much, and using the voice to express that energy, conversation, using our voice, empowering ourselves through conversation and dialogue. It gets so complicated, but when we're just using pure energy, we can practice it in a contained environment. We can practice it we can channel it into music and beauty or rawness, and you can try on those different energies, express those energies, feel, get rid of the fear that comes from activating them, and become comfortable with them. And when we become comfortable with using the power of our voice through sound, then it becomes easier to do that in our interactions with others. And it can also shift us out of this victim consciousness, out of the smallness that so many of us, women a lot feel that pressure and have experienced that paradigm, and sensitive people as well, we can minimize ourselves to, so because our power can have effects on others, and so we can cut ourselves off from it. But through the voice, we can become comfortable with the full power of our expression. We can feel what it is to really express in the moment deeply, and this is really powerful for healing, for just for well-being. The energy that flows through us when we're fully in our power, not controlling power, but just fully tapping into ourselves, whatever is there, that kind of power, that really, it just feels good. It's balancing, it's healthy. It's not victim, it's not controlling on the two paradigms of power, but it's just in the middle. It's, I'm here, I'm using my voice, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. This is the way I'm showing up, this is who I am. So might appeal to you from that perspective. And then from if you're more focused on the creative and musical side of things, healing your voice, even if you've been singing a long time, it can really have benefits, because the real power of the voice and the real power of music as well comes from deeply, deeply connecting to the present moment and exactly how we're feeling in that moment, not as some bypassing how we want to sound, how we want to be, but really deeply connecting to the emotion and the energy of the moment. When we hear someone sing a love song and they're in love, you can feel it. You can feel that love that they're carrying in their energy and connecting to. And when someone sings a song and they're expressing like heartbreak or grief, if they're still in that place, you can feel it. You can tap into that emotion. So in the same way, when, if you want to enhance your music, if you want to get more liveliness and power and magic in your music, we have to connect to the present moment. I'm always reminded of professional singers that I've worked with that have just burst into tears because they've been so used to perfecting their voice and using technique on their voice, but they never were connecting to what's really happening inside. What do I really want to express in this exact moment, which is very hard. It's very vulnerable. And when we get comfortable and safe to do it, then our music takes on a new dimension, as well as the presence of mind to to the courage and the fearlessness to, in that moment, maybe improvise something. What is happening right now that I want to express? And when we have fears laid on top of that, we can't access what we actually want to express. But once we get rid of the fears, in the exact moment of time when we're creating something, when we're making music, or even just speaking, maybe speaking in front of others, what do I really want to express right now? Having that container to listen to that and to express it, to find out, and to give that feedback loop of, when I listen for it, when I find it and I express it, it just feels so good. And the energy that you feel is so amazing because you're tapping into this primal and divine expression and gift. So using, if you're interested in enhancing your music, enhancing your improvisation, enhancing the effect of your voice, this can also be extremely useful just to get rid of the different layers of perfectionisms, of fear of vulnerabilities, and some of the other obstacles that I talk about in a previous video, that cover up that access to that powerful place that we have inside. So these are a few reasons why you might be interested in voice healing work. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, any general questions, and if you're really feeling the itch, if you really feel like you like this speaks to you, and working on it on your own just isn't getting you where you need, it really does help to, when I was doing classes in Bali, I realized, having a group class, I had a group class, and then I had private students as well. And the group class is just to kind of get people's feet wet and to start that exploration. But people who really, really want to focus on their own personal issues and have that personal attention, I feel like the one-on-one work is so valuable to support people and to make the progress, more direct and faster and more connecting. So yeah, if you're interested in private lessons, go ahead and find me on Instagram, Dharmadev, with a couple underscores after. And yeah, I look forward to singing with you, supporting you, and to sharing more about music, more about the voice, more about the healing power of sound with you soon.